Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So in this episode we are going to focus on working on some more quests. Like we did with Edar, we're going to complete some other quests for our other companions here. So we do have a Xoti's that we're going to continue on with. Hers is just a matter of time before we can complete hers. But what we're going to do now is switch out some of Edar's stuff. So I'm just going to move some stuff off of him, and then we will kind of get him. I don't think we need a shield. Actually, we might need a shield for Pelagina. Let's get some stuff off of him, and then we'll stick him into the party area and switch his character out. So we can do that by just going to our boat. Okay, so I'm going to need to get the quests done. I think the easiest ones to get done is actually the Sorcerer and the Gentleman, which is for Serafen. We can already take care of some of his quests. We also need him to move along in the quest line for the Principe, which is Symbols of Death. So we need to have him as well for this one, to speak with Captain Ferrante. He's going to give us a nice quest line that will give us a lot of experience. Because right now we're just trying to buy time before we can meet with Aothas in Magrin's Teeth, which is a pretty high level area. So we do have a few places we can go, but I think right now is the best thing to do would be just to work on some of Serafen's quests. And if we can probably complete Xoti's quest line as well, which we just need to gather more souls before hers is completed. So let's go ahead and get Serafen. And then we can switch him out. Let's see, get Serafen. I don't like his build. He's a hard character to work with. But he's a good replacement for Edar. They have a very similar types of builds, although Serafen's more long range. So we can get his character. Once we get the dunnage, we'll just get his character situated and have everything on him. We do have to worry about the pirates here, or the slavers. There are quite a few slavers around here, and they will fire at us. So we need to move on. There's some slavers there. I'm okay with boosting up our combat. Yeah, they're not very high. I'll quickly take on this vessel here. They're lower than us. Their captain's much lower than us. We are 4-star, they are 2-star. And so this should be pretty quick. I'll probably speed this up. Or maybe just cut to the end when I destroy them. Okay, they're almost gone. They're gonna try to run from us now. Let's hold position. Hold position, and then fire. This should be it. Yep, they're gone. Pretty easy. This is a good way to actually level up your skills for your crew. Everybody gets a level, and we get a lot of experience for our crew, not for our actual characters. More morale gain +8, so we're actually 94. We do get some stuff we can sell. That's also as good as well. Let's take all. We can share coins, but it's not really necessary right now. Let's go to dunnage and level up Serafen.
You ever thought about changing the color of your fur? Merkberries will stain your skin for weeks.
Oh, think I were born blue, eh? Think being this pretty come natural?
Well, dang, Serafen. I never knew you were so fancy.
Yeah, but mayhaps I'll be giving them merkberries a go. Ain't never been maroon before.
Alright, so that's a little banter between Xoti and Serafen. I'm gonna level up Serafen. I'll be back when I'm done. Alright, so we're now in dunnage. There is, let's see. We can do some things here besides talk with Ferrante, but I think it's the main thing we're going to do right now is talk to him. So let's go to this area here. And head up to... There's a pig up there. Let's grab him real quick. Chauncey. I'm not sure what Chauncey brings us. He is 1 dexterity and 5% of incoming hits converted to grazes from weapons. Okay. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the main area, Balefire's Beacon. Alright. Talk to Ferrante.
Watcher. Good, you have arrived.
Chin jutting upward, he grants you a winsome smile. His left cheek dimples as the smile spreads to show his teeth.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. What do I be but a pretty bit of man meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
Arms akimbo and head askance, Serafen smirks. Ferrante rubs his thumb over his golden silhouette. Violent thoughts gliding over his face like dark clouds. Then he smiles. But it's a vicious expression more than a pleasant one.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benwet.
His eyes glint as a fierce grin cuts across his face, and his lone dimple deepens.
I hear you have a flair for the dramatic, or should I say, explosive antics? A magnificent way to settle one's disputes indeed. And you truly left Benweth's reputation in pieces. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard blowing 3-sheeter getting what's long been doing.
Hands on his hips, Serafen juts his chest forward, blue fur expanding like a bird's plumage.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, but no one can say you are not entertaining. I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place.
He had it coming.
That he did. Indeed.
Ferrante strokes his fingers down the line of his jaw, eyes downcast in thought.
And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize.
With a sweep of his arm, he offers you a magnificent cloak. Cloak of protection.
However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen, one which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire.
Wait, did you say a ghost ship haunts the Deadfire?
Indeed, and I will say it truly again. This galleon, what likely remains of the Fonferros, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, Amica, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say.
Head craning abruptly to the side, he barks a loud order.
Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood.
At that last, he smiles. Sun blistered and raw-boned, the pirate regards you both in a discerning glare. She tongues a chapped bottom lip, but keeps quiet.
Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can.
The pirate touches a spot of the base of her skull and winces. She glances off to the side, eyes black and full of hurt. Ferrante sighs and rubs tiredly between his brows.
Go on, Mom. Ready as I'm like to get me.
With a shiver, the pirate turns her black button eyes to you. I'll try not to press you to remember more than we absolutely need.
You aren't quite what I expected, Watcher. You're
She wets her lips.
kinder than most.
Selenia pointedly avoids Ferrante's gaze, a grimy hand scrubbing at her mouth.
Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Out of nowhere was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked...
She gropes at her hip, but there's nothing there. Fingers fumbling at the air, she bares her teeth.
rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end.
When did this happen? She ruffles a hand through her short hair, scowls.
Deny me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
She flits her hand over the softness of her shirt. Again, her fingers hesitate close to her hip, the fabric crinkled there, where a pistol might normally be strapped. A muscle ticks in Ferrante's jaw, but he otherwise ignores her.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Tell me about the undead.
They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
She shrugs, gaze going far away.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Fonferros of Old Valia. It belonged to a Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
How did you survive the attack?
Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am.
She snorts. She rubs the back of her head, rough, like she needed it to hurt.
Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me.
How were you taken by surprise on the open sea?
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship
She glides her hand in the air.
skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it.
That'll be all. Selenia cuts a glance at Ferrante for confirmation. When he dismissively waves her away, her black eyes narrow, and she raises her chin defiant. But then he turns his full gaze to her, suddenly seething, and she shrinks in on herself. Fists shaking at her sides, she reluctantly retreats.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time.
Ferrante sighs.
One moment, Watcher.
The captain scowls at Selena, retreating back, a dark anger warming his cheeks. Why the secrecy? He cants his head to you in mock surprise.
That much should be obvious, Diveros. I prefer my crews to fear their captains, not a phantasm roaming the seas, hunting to devour their souls. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Darkotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume.
I take it you have a plan?
Indeed, I do.
He flashes you a devious grin.
Though I and mine cannot so openly venture into the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead. You, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas, correct? You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. Isaiah's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Rivan.
I'll see what I can do.
Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors. I will be waiting.
He nods cordially in dismissal. Okay, so that is the quests for Captain Ferrante. We need to actually find the floating hangman and recover the boat for him. That's one thing he wants us to do. So we can head on to Neketaka and then take care of Serafen's quest, which will take us to the next area that we're going to be at anyways. So we'll do that. Okay, I was actually heading to Neketaka and I did get this encounter at the sea. As a fog rolls in, this is going to be an encounter that you get after you speak with Ferrante. Out of nowhere, a heavy fog rolls over the ocean, so dense that you cannot see more than a few dozen feet out from your ship. With the fog arrivals, the winds die, the waves calm, the mighty dhow is left aimlessly drifting. The only sounds those of Hull groaning as if the dread of what's to come. Eerie green lights pierce through the fog as the silhouette of a massive galleon approaches. Black sails, though tattered and rotting, catch in an otherworldly wind, slicing the ship forward at a rapid pace. The captain, a skeleton outfitted in tarnished armor, with glowing eyes, surveys you from the quarterdeck of the decaying galleon. She wraps two fleshless fingers against her chest before pointing right at you. The goddess of death has marked, "I will leave untouched." She nods solemnly once, then, with a tilt of her skull, steers the ship away. As the floating hangman turns, several undead sailors shamble across the deck, hungry for a look at your crew. They scratch at the chipped and rotting railing, heads rolling on their exposed spine. Ship disappears back into the fog. A few minutes pass before the fog fully dissipates, and the winds pick back up, rustling your sails. The sea is clear, empty. The other ship is nowhere to be found. So she didn't attack us because we are Berath's chosen one. Alright, so we need to go to Pariki's Overlook, which we need to do two things here, and hopefully we can get both of these done in this episode. We need to go to the bathhouse, and we need to go to the Water Shapers Guild. Okay, another encounter.
Was finally washed into port.
This is an addendum to the Sorcerer and Gentleman. This happens if you have Serafen with you and are traveling around Neketaka. Serafen's pretty angry right now.
Hold up, Cap. That be Malnage, the High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire herself, awaiting us like a shark in heat.
Keep calm, Serafen.
Steady as the sea, Cap.
A flash of ice-cold loathing cuts through the heat of Serafen's anger, threatening to wash you over. Let's let it come. Pretty much, I'm going to sum this up and say that Serafen was abused by Malnage, and he was helped by his friend that we're looking for.
Captain, I've heard a mess and a half about you. Mostly good. Though I see your tasting company could use some refining.
She gestures to Serafen with a smirk.
Typical Malnage. Can't match my skill, so you try to spew shit.
Boy, when you're as old as me, your skill will still be naught more than the untrained fumbling of an Adeiran maid to the refined workings of my mind.
What brings you here, Malnage?
I've heard about your run-ins with Captains Benweth and Ferrante. Meeting the old Principe seems like. Almost makes a girl green, the envy of missing the party. I'm tracking a man by the name of Rimaro, traitor to the cause.
Romaro ain't no traitor, you mind-blind sack of squid squirts.
I'll let it come. This is more of that same vision where you see Malnaj treating Serafen poorly and then Romaro helping him.
Captain, there'll be a bounty of some 4,000 pounds on Romaro, quick or dead. I'd be willing to cut you 1/10 of that, here and now, if you give me any knowledge you might have stumbled across on your travels.
I know nothing about this. Her eyes narrow to sharp lines in her graying fur, and her lips curls back over her sharp teeth.
Careful, Watcher. You don't want to go making yourself an enemy of the Principe Sen Petrella. Anyone aids our enemies shares their fate, you know. Fare thee well, Captain. See you around, Serafen.
Okay, that's pretty much it for that particular encounter. Let's go head back to where we were heading to, which is Pariki's Overlook. Alright, so here we are in Pariki's Overlook. There's a few things we actually can do here while we're here. There's a couple of quests. There's one we get outside of this place here, which is the Archimir's Manor. There's one actually in this building for the Dark Cupboard. I think we already picked up a companion over here for our boats. And there's the Water Shapers Guild, which has a quest. Then there's the Bathhouse, which has a quest, plus the one that we already have. Definitely has several things we can do here. I'm actually going to go pick up this quest here, the Dark Cupboard, because it's pretty quick to pick up. And I don't think we'll get to the Water Shapers Guild.
I'll be taking half this back to the Sorcerer. She truly live up the name.
I got nowhere else to turn. Stonehill is going to kill me.
Don't drag me into your mess, Bertenno. Not again.
Then you leave me no choice. I'm sorry.
Hey, come back with that! Madiko!
Alright. Let's talk to Fasina.
That flaccid batso.
This young wizard clutches the countertop, looking as if she is either going to vault over it or snap it in half.
Imp, you had none of that, hack?
The imp mutters to himself in a dark, guttural tone.
That's what I thought. What am I going to do? Think, Fasina.
She grabs a fistful of her hair and sighs. What was all that about?
My postenago of a lover stole Rokawa's fingers. The master will kill me if I don't get them back. He must have wanted to raise some fast coin. Arkemir will flay me alive over those damned gloves.
Fasina cradles her brow and groans. Strange that the constructs didn't attack him for stealing.
Is it strange? I don't know. Go consult Arkemir's grimoire if you're that curious.
Flustered, she finds any excuse to look elsewhere. Why does he need money?
He said that he's in debt to a Rautayan captain by the name of Hamuto Stonehill. By all accounts, a deadly serious man.
What aren't you telling me?
Not that it's any of your business, but Bertenno used to spend a lot of late nights here.
Fasina coughs into her fist and avoids eye contact.
I got into the construct's guts and marked off Bertenno as a safe visitor so they would not attack him. And before you ask, no, I will never do this again.
She crosses her arms resolutely. I'll get those gloves back to you.
You will? If you are expecting some payment or reward, I do need to keep this under wraps.
A discount would be a nice start. She blinks twice in disbelief before regarding you with a warm smile.
You look capable. While I am stuck behind this counter, I am in no position to refuse help. A discount goes without saying. You're saving me a world of trouble by doing this. Thank you. I do not know where Bertenno fences his goods, but he mentioned an appointment at the Beraths Citadel docks.
Fasina bites her thumbnail and glares at the door, seeming to wish it could burst off its hinges.
Hamuto Stonehill must be as dangerous as he sounds, or else Bertenno wouldn't be so panicked.
Alright. Let's go help them out. Farewell. We'll get to that one in a little bit. We can talk to her.
No gloves.
Yeah, we get no discount at this point in time, though. We do get some Pretty nice stuff though, when we do get a discount. Another spell book, which is nice. We could also sell some stuff to her. Let's go back out. Okay, let's head to the Luminous Bathhouse. Actually, let's go talk to this group here. They'll start another quest.
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less.
The Amamawa woman clutches her fists at her side. Her severe features are caught in an unshakable grimace.
If this is what passes for Rautai in diplomacy, Rauzanui has bigger problems.
The more calm and composed Tawana smiles, turning when she notices you.
If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
What's going on between you two?
Tamar and I wanted something from Arkemir. Our powers of persuasion leave much to be desired.
The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rautai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
She gestures at Natia.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The queen sent me to remind you both.
An intact primary source is a rare find for the Huana.
Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
Wait, is there another reason you both want the tablet so badly? The pair go silent and awkwardly avoid eye contact, focusing in different directions.
There are things better left unsaid.
While I'm standing here, you mean?
Akira, I don't deny it.
So what's your plan?
I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Atehia blinks at her in shock and takes a moment to smooth down the creases in her uniform.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
So we can choose to help the Rautai or the Huana. If you're siding with either one, that is, it's going to help you. I'm just going to say farewell. I don't really plan to side with either one. I plan to side with either the Valayans or the pirates. You can also find them in certain places to help them out later. Alright, let's go to the bathhouse. Alright, let's go find the person that we're looking for. Who are we looking for? Let's check it out. We need to find Udine. Okay. Let's find Udine. There he is. Or she.
I see you brought your pain, but you need come to ease it. Pity.
A venerable elf sits beside the water, her creased and spotted skin slightly flushed by the heat. Numerous scars mar her skin on her face and torso alike. Her eyes open and her sharp gaze focuses on you. You're Udine, right? We've heard you know where to find Romaro.
Oh, you poxy old salt. Spill what you know before we spill your guts.
Serafen.
She smiles, an expression both sad and kind.
Romaro described you pointedly. He told me that you would come were ye in danger.
Danger? Nay, not I. I do seek him, though, and I feel that he needs me. Feel it in the deep depths of my furry fun sack. If you care for him, you'll be telling me what you know.
He bade me not tell anybody of his plans, ye included. He's left this area, afeard of the danger he fishes on those near to him.
Please help my friend Udine. He loves Romaro like a father.
He's the nearest thing I got to kin. Why didn't he trust me?
Serafen's head drops.
He did trust you. He trusted you wholly.
Udine frowns at Serafen, her eyes wet.
I'll tell you, and trust ye to Gaun best what to make of the conning. Remaro treated me as galleon for mine clipper. A stuggy trade, surely, but he insisted that he needed the speed. I can't tell you what he intends, but he set sail for Sayuka, intending to replenish there. That's everything I con, for whatever good it does you.
He gave up the Sorcerer? And for what? An elven clipper? Makes as much sense as Doug's on a Drake cap. He'd be easy catchings for any freebooter after his hide.
Who is hunting Marmaro beside Minaj?
That salted cockfast be the biggest threat, sure as shit. But others will want that bounty too. Not to mention a favour comes with it.
We should hurry to Syoko.
Aye, Cap, you've read my mind. And here with me thinking that were my skill in particular. Thank you mightily, lass. Enjoy the baths.
Safe travels. The wages of war catch ye up soon or soon.
Okay, so that is the quest, is to go to the next place, which I can't really see from here, can I? Alright, so we need to go to another island, which is going to take a little bit of time. One thing we could do is we actually could take a bath, and it does boost up our stats decent amounts. I'm going to do that real quick.
Welcome, welcome. If there's any way I might make your...
Alright, so we can get 1 constitution, 25% healing received, 25% beneficial effect duration, 10% area effect, 2 health restored per 6 seconds, 1 max power pool. Let's rest with this one. Very cheap price for what you get. Alright. Okay, so Jote's in a dream. Watch her sleep. Chest rises and falls faster and deeper until she's very nearly heaving. Suddenly, she jolts upright, eyes wide and terrified. She chokes back a shriek. She calms, confused eyes searching your face.
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was not pretty.
She worries her bottom lip with her teeth.
Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake.
Didn't the cleansing work?
It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered, it soaked the blessing right up, left me with hardly none.
So we need to tell her to go, we need to go to a Adra pillar is what we need to do. You're losing your light to the darkness. Rekindle it by helping the living. Sucks in a deep breath.
You sound like my high priestess Samhain. She never shuts up about the living, when she ought to worry more about the dead. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gaun's will. And the less I get a wink of sleep.
Your nightmares are getting worse?
Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though. Once I gather enough souls. Us Gaunites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose.
She turns her face away, bottom lip trembling. Slowly her fingers reach for the hem of their shirt. She rubs the pads of her fingers over it, holding to you in the lightest of touches.
Will you help me, Watcher?
Yes.
I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods.
Okay, so we need to take her to the Adra vein. We'll find an Adra vein and release your burden. It's the best way to ensure the souls reach the beyond.
It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous for sure.
She nods, clearly devising a plan of action.
That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell? The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Malgrin not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gaun aside, the gods' past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence.
Doesn't matter as long as it improves your sanity.
I think my duty to Gaun's a little more important than my personal comfort, don't you? I can't just abandon my souls, not to mention my principles, and hope for the best.
What do you think it's like for the souls trapped in the lantern?
I don't know. They can't be aware, surely.
Muscle ticks in her jaw at the thought. What if we gave the souls to the Animancers? They've made gains in reproducing the cycle of rebirth.
Put my flock into the hands of experimenters? How can we trust they'd be successful? Or hell, even to be well-meaning in their intent? Just the thought's making my shoulders twitch. You sure about this?
You harvest the souls, the Animancers replant them. It's a new cycle, one that'll work.
You're right. What if there's no one left to release the souls from the lantern after the darkness has come and Eora's recovered? The gods will survive, but Kithkind may not. Guess that settles it then. Find me an Animancer, and we'll try it.
She nods once before turning away. Okay, so we could take her to an Audra Pillar or take her to Animancers. There are the Hylian Temple in Neketaka is the closest one to where we are. Let's go there. Okay, so now we're at the Luminous Audra Pillar. We could take Xoti here, or we could talk to the Animancers about taking the souls. Let's take her to the pillar.
This luminous Audra ought to be able to take my souls, Watcher. What do you say?
Let's try it. A gleaming pillar of luminous Audra towers above you as Xoti stomps confidently toward its base, a grin ripening over her face.
Get ready to witness the feat of a lifetime, Watcher. I'm about to do God's good work, to single-handedly shepherd a multitude of souls straight into the depths of hell.
She rubs her hands together, drubs her palms against her hips, and snatches up her lantern, eager, ready. She wiggles her shoulders and pops her neck, stance subtly widening. I am ready to be impressed.
Then keep your eyes peeled, 'cause it's gonna happen.
She snaps her fingers.
Fast as a fire beetle flash. The Audra will snatch 'em right quick once I conjure the light. So don't look away.
She exhales those last words. She presses one palm flat on the cold expanse of gem-like growth, fingers trembling, and like a firework going off, the light from her lantern flares blindingly bright. Electricity, no hypercharged soul energy, whips across the air, lashing open Xoti's skin, traveling the pathway of thousand branching veins of capillaries. The strike bursts Xoti's bloody from the face to neck to arms and lower, and she screams, her voice a secondary crack across the sky. Release the souls.
Swear to the gods, I'm trying.
The words rattle from between her clenched teeth, ripping her convulsing body, but she doesn't let go of the Audra that's searing her palm. The lantern trembles so violently it nearly cracks, but the massive wave of purple essence rushes from the lantern. It swirls up and around the Audra, crashing along the glimmering surface before being sucked inside. The Audra pillar is brighter, then darker, and even brighter, blinding. There's a howling when the Audra cracks and a jagged shard trembles to the ground.
Ugh, son of a god's darn motherless cur. That hurt worse than a back-to-back whooping from Uncle Angbert's quarterstaff. Hell, and I only gotta do it again and again on cycle until the day I die?
You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
Ugh, but the guild says I do. I can't turn my back on my purpose any more than I could Eora in need. I never did want to take the easy route. I'll keep reaping more souls then. Do my duty till I fall to dirt and bones. Never you worry though. I'll see to dumping my lantern in the future on my own. Thank you for finding me a way to handle my burden, even if it does involve the occasional jolt of pain.
Chest heaving, Xoti scrambles, and the outer shard embedded in the ground. The crystal slick with blood from her palm. She shoves it into her pocket. She shakes her head. So we have this item now.
Darn if I don't feel so light I could float away.
Xoti casts an odd look to her darkened lantern before turning you a whimsical smile. Doing any better?
My bones are still a little jangly. But yeah, I think I am. I don't know if this is what Gaun planned for me, but I'd like to think we did right by these souls. We're bringing light to the darkness, ensuring spring follows the common fall.
She dusts her hands on her hips before setting off at a determined clip. Okay, so we did complete Xoti's quest. It did level up several of our characters, so we are done with the Lantern of Gaun. You do have options to complete this one. You can either take him to the Animancers, or take her to the Outer Pillar. Those are both options that will work either way. Wait, I don't know what this is. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so this is going to be it for her quest. That'll be it for this episode. I'm going to level everyone up, and then the next episode we'll continue on in Neketaka. But for now, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.